Good morning, good afternoon, good day, and good evening. Now, I don't know what time of day it is for you, but for me, it's the good time of day. It is another wonderful day. I'm on the right side of the dirt. Yes, my migraines might have been acting up for the past couple of days, but you know what? It is all good, and I'm here with you today. And you might be wondering, what are we going to talk about today, Brain? The same thing we talk about all the time. I'm glad you asked me. Today, we're going to be talking about a subject that just keeps on giving. We're talking about the slap. Yes, we're talking about that Will and Chris situation all over again. Yes, we've already given you our take. Yes, we've already talked about it ad nauseum for over 2 hours, I might add, in a live stream that we had. But in that live stream, something came out that I wish I could take credit for this, the direction that we're getting ready to go in right now, but I can't. You know why? Because in that live stream, Westradamus, he says something, and you know what? Let's hear it in his own words.
To reinstitute the elders, the respect for the elders, and allow correction from the elders. You know, that's big.
And the funny part about that, after hearing it from Westradamus, right, is that probably 14 minutes beforehand or 7 minutes beforehand or something along those lines in the stream, before that, Awesome Dre had a sentiment that was extremely similar to his. And if you're not a subscriber to his channel, I'm gonna let you know down in the description below. I'm gonna put a link to 7 Mile Awesome Dre's channel. That brother, he's always dropping some bombs, dropping some knowledge. I would like for you to go over there, show him some love, hit him up, get that brother up, get him some subscribers also. But here's what he had to say that's pretty much in line with that as well.
Are you familiar with the brother Dr. Juwanza Kunjufu?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, he did a as you know, he did a workshop back in '85, the destruction of black boys, and it's amazing how you fast forward 35 years and we're exactly in the same spot. I watch it periodically here, and he was just so profound. And so, the brother's just special. That's him and Dr. Cornel West. I'm a fan, and the brother, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. You know, it's funny. Our community, Joe Biden respects us so much that when something happens, he goes to talk to Cardi B and Soulja Boy. He don't go talk to them. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. You don't go talk to our leaders and our scholars, the brothers who can really articulate our position, and really get the maximum bang for the buck, so to speak. It's a joke, but I just
But you ain't gonna talk to a Dr. Claude Anderson. You're not gonna talk.
The funny part about that, when I'm hearing those brothers speak that way, it reminds me of my old man. My dad used to have this expression. He used to summarize the book of Ecclesiastes this way. And there was 2 expressions he had when he summarized the book of Ecclesiastes. And for those in my family, specifically my siblings, you guys probably heard this a whole lot of times, so y'all can probably zone out at this point. But he used to talk about that in the book of Ecclesiastes, there was a time and a place for everything. That's one of his sentiments. The second one that goes pretty much to the point of what we're talking about right now, right here today, in dealing with our elders, he would say, there's nothing new under the sun. And I think about that because our elders from the time of Malcolm and Martin, Marcus Garvey, Carter G. Woodson, Booker, Frederick, just all of them. If you took some of their expressions, some of the things that they were dealing with then, and you transplant them to now, they are almost identical as far as the issues that they were dealing with and coping with then, and the ones that we're dealing with and coping with right now. So it's important to hear our elders, to listen to our elders, to bring back our elders, and to sit there and talk to them. And so I'm going to start a segment today, and this one's going to be called An Elder Speaks. And when I find these gems that our elders are dropping, I want to share them. As a matter of fact, this is one that recently happened, and we gave you our take on this Will and Chris Rock thing. Here's an elder, and the actual full video is going to be linked in the end card. So if you actually want to see the entire thing with the entire panel, that's going to be at the end in the end card. But for right now, what we're talking about and what we're going to focus on today, right now, is just the elders portion of it. What did the elder have to say about that situation? And this is a guy who was a bodyguard and trainer for Richard Pryor. Who we talking about? We're talking about none other than,
along with very special guest, Rashaan Khan.
that's right, Rashaan Khan. Had to say, put some respect on my brother's name. And here was his take on what happened with Will and Chris. Let's take a listen to this elder as he speaks.
Absolutely. Now, Rashaan, thank you so much for joining us today. But I wanna get your thoughts as well after seeing Chris Rock's brother, take a stance on his Instagram story. What are your
He
thoughts?
should take the stance that he take. It's family. And so those of us that really understand family, you stick with your family and you work it out. So yes, I can appreciate him saying that. But it was nonsense though.
Right.
And so all of us, the black people, are pulled into this nonsense. We want to sort it out because we love both of them, but it's nonsense.
Rashaan, I want to bring you in on that as well. What are your thoughts? Do you think by Will Smith, taking the action that he's making black people or us
First
look
of
bad?
all, no, his action doesn't make black people look bad because look at the sister that's running for Supreme Court. So that makes black people look good. So we can't say, and if that was the case, then look at how they could play it. If they could get these two brothers over here to act this out, say for $50 million that we don't know about, and it makes all of us feel bad, they win. So no, that doesn't. It was just, and I'm not buying Will was so emotional. And you walk from here to there, you're thinking about what you're doing. Then you walk back. If you was what we call mad, not emotional. You mad, you slapped. I would have liked to have seen him knock Chris Rock out. Now you mean the shit. And then leave the fucking Oscars. Fuck the Oscar and the statue and all that. Now we got a problem.
Damn.
Now we got a problem. That shit's serious. And it might still be on the streets. That's serious.
Right.
That shit looks staged. Fat Joe shot me 3 times with a shotgun and I fell down 2 flights of stairs. I'm not dead. It was staged. So this brother was pissed off after laughing at the joke. He laughed. And somebody said something. Damn, that's how your woman gets you hurt without understanding. Man can't be emotional in a situation like that. That's thinking time. That's what am I going to do time. Or as we said coming up, it's not the time to be acting like a bitch. That's what that was. Whatever was said. Your woman that's really with you, she going to check you. No, this ain't the time. There's the after party, there's backstage, there's a lot of different places. But not here. Don't fuck with what we got. Don't fuck with the kingdom doing something dumb like that. Real woman. But if it's pushed and you standing like, yeah, that's bullshit. That's somebody that, in my opinion, that's really jealous of you. I'm a C plus and you an A. What's the problem? And I thought the joke was 50-50. It fell flat, but some people laughed at it. And this is what we're not saying. If there was a producer that would say, yeah, I got 20 million, that's a good idea. G.I. Jane 2 with Jada, but the money's there. She would have said yes. Hair and everything. As a matter of fact, I ain't got to shave my head. It's already, I'm ready. So that's nonsense. That's what I would call that black privilege.
Right.
You do that type of stuff. That's black privilege.
I think
You
that's
see no security. No security. Nobody. Puffy was the security. He was the peacemaker. Puffy. That's nonsense. No, I'm not saying it wasn't real. It looked staged. And then when I heard the profanity, because live shows, they can mute it. You didn't have to hear him saying, take my wife, don't mention my wife, keep it out.
Right.
All that could have been muted out. So that was to add to the drama.
Sure.
I really was disappointed to the brother that played Muhammad Ali. That was as hard as he could slap. I really was. Just saying, you ain't even break the skin. Spit a little blood out for me. Really show me. That's why I'm saying, hit his ass if you're going to hit him. But that's why I was like, that was the hit. Did Muhammad Ali work out on the bag? That's it. Oh, okay.
But Rashaan, I want to make sure I come back to you and give you a chance to respond to some of the things that were said, because I know you made some comments, but then, Capone asked a great question. So I want to come back to you just to get your thoughts
What
on.
Capone said, I agree with. That's where the balance is supposed to come in. And emotions in situations like that will never serve a man right, because you're moving on emotion. That's not a situation. You don't fight someone on emotion. You're either a protector, you're trying to get out of a situation, but it's not on emotion. Yes, you can go that way. Yes, you can talk about how you feel. That's after the fact. But it has to be clear in battle what you're doing. Either I'm going to get hurt or I'm going to hurt someone. Real clear. It's not an emotional thing. You're in the fight. It's already happening. So this is not the time to be like, why am I doing this, or I'm doing this, but that's where you get hurt at. So even though it was real to me, we seen it happen, there's places that Will knew he wouldn't have done that. And they could have said way more crazier things. He'd have got up and left, which would have been the smart thing to do. Just leave. You don't have to be here. I'm adding to what's going on here by being here with my wife. This is how you're going to talk to her? You leave and just take the air out of the room when you leave. That's all.
I agree.
That's your power.
Yeah.
Now use your power the right way. We can get that from the streets. And not saying anything about the streets, but the streets don't know. So until I do know, here's what I'm gonna do if you fuck with me. But when I do know, that's not necessary. I'm not gonna let that stop me from what I'm doing, because you're gonna get a lot of that. If I can get you to hit me in the street, I can sue you for a year's salary. If you knock me down and hurt me, I can have you sent to jail.
Right.
So you lose at the end. It's not the time to be emotional, especially like that on display.
That was so on point, listening to him and how his take was on that. The other aspect of that, he goes in, he says some things that's just as profound, even more so, on how we conduct ourselves, not just within the Will and Jada thing, and how a woman can impact or have influence over a man. That the power that our women have within our community. I know that maybe they might not like it, or maybe you sisters, y'all might think that, hey, this is not the way we would like to have more of the physical power like you have. Unfortunately, you're not a man. Genetically, that's not how you are and how you predisposed. However, you do have power. And he talked about it, but here's something else that he talked, this elder state. Let's get back into it.
Oh, excuse me, about not pressing charges.
Yeah.
The state of California can press charges.
Absolutely
Yes.
right. That's true. That's true.
Now, this next part is going to be pretty controversial. He talks about, well, you know what? Let's hear him talk about it.
Well, Rashaan, you wanna chime in?
No,
respond to
I
that?
hear what he's saying about therapy, and I know quite a few brothers go to therapists, and therapists make a lot of money stringing that shit out.
Right.
And that's what it is. They will never be able to explain to you when you was growing up why it was like that when you was growing up. That's done already. But now you in this place where you're making this crazy money, and you're kind of interesting, so let's just keep talking about it. And some kind of way you calm yourself. Therapist is not calming you. You have someone, they used to call them years ago grandmothers, not therapists. Go to your grandmother. And the reason it was a grandmother that calmed you, or an auntie or whoever, an elder, because it was someone that knew you. The therapists don't know you. They know the things to say to you, but the person, here's why you act like that. You need to calm yourself down. This is somebody that knows you. So on the money level, you go to the therapist. That's what you go to.
Yeah. So we have a lot about therapy today, and part of that on the need for therapy is not just the things that happened to us in slavery and those type of deals, but also the breakdown of the family, the breakdown of the community, the fact that there really are no more grandmothers in that vein that he's talking about today as there was back then. But even more controversial than that statement is this last one here that I'm going to share with you. Take a listen to what this elder has to say.
You cannot solve black problems with white thinking.
So we know that when it comes right down to it, you cannot apply white thinking black prophet. They're not the same. And yet and still we're trying to fit that square peg in that round hole, right? This elder had a lot of things to say, profound things that he was able to get off in less than 10 minutes. I wish I was that succinct in my viewpoints or in my delivery in most cases, to be able to deliver that kind of heavy weight within that time frame that brother did. And it was beautiful. And again, the actual interview with the entire panel is going to be in a card at the end. Click on it, it'll take you there. But in the meantime, I know I didn't tell you guys before, but I love you. Hope that you're having a great day. If you're listening to this another day and it's in the morning, I hope that you're getting ready to go kill it. And above all else, I hope and I pray that you may always have peace in your life. And with that,